Let's get instant analysis from volleyball analyst Doc Volleyball, AJ Pareja, former UAAP MVP. Doc, thank you so much for coming here to the Score tonight.
Thank you for having me. So, finals, grabe. Intense.
Grabe talaga.
Intense for both men's and women's. I wasn't there, but yung napanood ko sa TV, parang grabe. Nafe-feel ko yung intensity dun sa loob ng Araneta.
Oh, you played in the UAAP, Doc AJ. You played for Ateneo. And you were there during the time that Ateneo was really trying to establish themselves as a powerhouse in men's volleyball. And they were entering this series as the three-time defending champions. But lineup-wise, masasabi natin na mas experience at mas lamang ang NU. But did you have any doubts? Did you feel in your mind that Ateneo could somehow pull it off?
Of course, I knew that they can pull it off. Parang individually talagang lamang yung NU. Individually, pag player-to-player comparison, lamang sila. Pero as a team, Ateneo has areas that they have advantages over NU, specifically yung blocking tsaka service receive. Ang nangyari lang dun sa final series natin with NU is that Ateneo, since ano na sila parang compared sa individual lineup, lamang ang NU, so they have no room for error to falter dun sa areas that they're good at, which is service and receive and yung blocking. And yun yung medyo nagkulang dun sa series nila. That's why NU was able to snatch the victory.
And I guess pwede rin natin sabihin, Doc AJ, na gutom itong grupong ito ng NU because for 3 straight years, they fell short. They weren't able to win in any finals match against Ateneo prior to the 2 wins this year. What can you say about the performances of guys like Brian Bagunas, James Natividad, even Ricky Marcos, and the setter, Kim Deandante? Ano nakita mo sa kanila dito sa seryeng ito?
Well, yung team nila this year, syempre, iba na yung maturity from the previous teams before. And you can just admire yung this kind of team that Coach Dante Alinsunurin was able to build up. Before, ang critics sa NU is just, malalaki lang yan. At tapos ngayon, malalaki na, athletic pa, tapos yung galaw nila sa loob ng court, very cohesive na sila Although they still have some areas to work on, like especially yung receive. But they were able to compensate for it with their athleticism and their net play sa offense tsaka sa blocking.
Now, after the match, obviously, looking forward na ang iba sa mga tao. And Coach Oliver Almadro is said to be the next head coach of the men's national volleyball team. And sinabi ni Coach Oliver na sobrang bilib siya sa pinakita ng kanyang mga players at ng NU. And that he wants to get both Mark Espejo and Brian Bagunas on the same team for the Philippines. So, what are your thoughts on that combination?
I think yung sa kay Coach Oliver right now is he really wants to make a team that's very inclusive of not just yung standouts sa team niya, but also teams like NU currently and even from before. Like a lot of players who are still very much active na actually kasabayan ko pa are still very much active sa professional league na gusto niya ring i-include sa team. So he wants to make a team full of veterans as well as the current stars para at least very well balanced in terms of experience, in terms of skill level.
So we're definitely looking forward to that. But before we shift our attention to the women's finals, Doc AJ, I just want to get your thoughts about how you feel about the biggest coverage ever in the history of UAAP men's volleyball. For the very first time, every single match in the tournament was aired to the public. Ano ang masasabi mo doon?
Well, personally, of course, I still have that gripe na sana ngayon ako naglalaro. So, kasi hindi ko inabot yan. Kasi during my time, at least, parang it was only towards the end of my career na nag-start mag-televise yung women's and men's team, and it was only during the semifinals. So, if you were playing back then, you would really want to get into the semifinals just to get that TV coverage. But right now, I'm really happy, at least for the current generation, that they have this experience kasi it's all for the development of the sport. Of course, with much exposure, more people will be inspired and interested with the sport. So actually ngayon, yung mga current players ngayon, naglalakihan na. So it's not just basketball who has the monopoly of big players, but also men's volleyball.
Now, earlier, after the men's volleyball game, sa women's naman, over 14,000 ang nanood sa laban ng FEU at ng LaSalle. This is the first time that these two teams faced each other in the women's volleyball tournament since UAAP season 71. Naglalaro ka pa ata noon ng time na yun.
Yes.
What can you say about the series? What were your expectations coming in, and did it live up to the hype? Did it live up to the hype, itong FEU and LaSalle?
Definitely lived up to the hype na even if it happens so that both are straight sets, at least you cannot say that the final series was very one-sided to LaSalle. Talagang FEU brought out the best in LaSalle. It's just that yung kinukulang lang talaga sila dun sa final execution. It has been the parang story of FEU since the elimination round. Twice encounter with LaSalle, parehong 5 sets na yung sa 5th set, dun sila bumibigay. And it just so happened that these series sa mga sets na nilaro nila this championship, lalamang sila, tapos towards the end, even under pressure, LaSalle will still emerge as victorious for that set. So it has been the story for FEU this season. Yun lang, medyo nakakahinayang like that they weren't able to get that final punch, at least to make this series more interesting.
Now, LaSalle had 3 graduating players play their final game in the UAP today. Of course, Don Macandili, Majoy Baron, and Kim Kiana D. And all those 3 players really played their hearts out here today. Ano yung mamimiss mo sa tatlong players na yun? Si Don, si Kim, at si Majoy.
Well, all 3 are MVPs in their own respective rights. Of course, si Majoy Baron, we're gonna miss yung kanyang aggressiveness sa net defense and offense ng LaSalle. What I observed throughout the season, siya yung barometer. Kung maganda yung laro niya, talagang very dominant yung LaSalle. Si Kim D, for me, she's yung talaga advantage ng LaSalle amongst other teams. They have the best opposite hitter. She can block, she's very consistent with her attack, and yun yung talagang lamang niya in other teams na opposite hitters. And of course, Don Macandili, who wouldn't miss her, yung kanyang mga very impossible saves, yung mga buwis-buhay niyang dive. So, I know na malaking kawalan sila sa LaSalle, but of course, Coach Ramil has a wide roster of players. So, it just takes time to develop again the likes of Baron, Kim D, and Don Macandili. So, it would be interesting kung sino yung susunod sa kanila.
Yeah, and I remember a couple years back, Coach Ramil De Jesus told me, yun ang pinaka-challenging bilang head coach, ay yung develop yung mga bata to become the future leaders of his team. 11 championships. What can you say about the volleyball program of Coach Ramil De Jesus dito sa LaSalle?
Well, it's very much established as a volleyball dynasty already. So there were, especially nung pumasok si Coach Tai sa Ateneo, there was a time na Coach Ramil cannot solve the Coach Tai problem. But because of his inclusion into the league, talagang Coach Ramil was okay na siya before pero tinaasan niya pa yung level of coaching niya. So, it's very much interesting na, especially right now in the league, na ang dami ng foreign coaches in Coach Air, Coach Godfrey are coming in. So, very interesting how the established coaches like Coach Ramil can still elevate their game. And of course, I'm very much interested of what he will be offering as the national team coach right now, na sana continuous program na talaga.
Yun. So, abangan natin yan. Nakikita natin yung mga highlights ng championship. Don Macandili, very emotional in tears as she received her finals MVP trophy. LaSalle will be celebrating tonight, and you will be celebrating as well. And you're also going to be celebrating because it is your birthday. Pero before you celebrate, maraming salamat, Doc AJ Pareja, for dropping by here to the score.
Thank you.
And we have a special cake for you. We have Pao here giving the cake to our all-around analyst, Doc AJ Pareja. Doc, what is your message to everybody watching right now? Baka meron kang birthday wish dyan?
Birthday wish is just, syempre, all for the development of the sport. Sana mas lalo pang tumaas yung level of volleyball in the Philippines. And keep on supporting. And especially, meron din tayong beach volleyball upcoming.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow actually is the start. I'll be there also, but not as a player. Pinapag-usapan lang ako nila Z to be the team doctor for the delegation. So, yeah.
So, blow your birthday cake, Doc.
Okay.
And happy birthday to Doc AJ Pareja, Doc Volleyball. Watch out for his articles on sports.abs-cbn.com. And yes, catch him tomorrow as the FIVB comes to Manila for the very first time for beach volleyball at the SM Sands by the Bay. Doc, maraming salamat once again and happy birthday.
For more sports updates, keep watching The Score. And don't forget to subscribe.